Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to our, can you believe this is our fourth and final Hacktoberfest update of 2023. This is the fourth Thursday in a row. I can't believe we're almost at the end of the month. But how are you guys doing today?
Good.
Great.
We're very festive today.
Good. That's great. So once again, we have some new people joining us. So over there, we have at the far left, right, depending on which order your fingers are pointing. Left, left on the screen. Yeah, left. Is David Weinberg, who's been doing some work. So he's going to show off what he's been doing. And hiding below, who will join us about halfway through, is Murray Maloney, who's going to show off some stuff on the WikiTree browser extension. And just like last week, I promised that we would give the WikiTree browser extension some more airtime because we've been woefully neglecting it these past 3 weeks. So we're going to rectify that issue very shortly. But anyways, Sandy and Alesh and Jamie are here, as always, to help out and give some thoughts and reactions. So that is great. So where do we want to start, Jamie?
So we start real quick with the word?
Oh, yes, because we're allowed to give away a free t-shirt.
Yeah.
So we have to, if you type a special word in, and what is the word going to be? What's the word going to be? Anyone?
Hacktoberfest, right?
Hacktober. I was waiting. Sandy is going to be our official giver awayer. So I was waiting for her to let everyone know. That's okay. Hacktober is the word. If you type that into the comments, if you're watching this live, those who are watching the replay, sorry. But if you sign up for today and register for that, there's other free giveaways you can be eligible for. But for today, for right now, type in Hacktober. And it doesn't matter whether it's a capital H or not, right, Sandy? It's
correct.
Case insensitive. As long as you spell it in the same way, then we're fine. And then halfway through, Sandy will pick a lucky winner and you can pick a t-shirt. So good stuff. Thank you for reminding me of that, Jamie. So why don't you go ahead?
Oh, yeah. So we are going to start with the tree apps today. Riel made some updates to both the Ancestor Lines Explorer and the CC7 views. So I'll show those off because he's not here. And then David will show off what he's been working on the Stats app. So I will start off with the Ancestor Lines Explorer. Let me share my screen. Okay, is it sharing yet? Okay. Do you guys see that?
You're up.
Okay. Yeah, so and if someone could post the link to the test tree in so it shows up on the screen. Bottom.
Okay. I'll do that if you want.
Yeah, so the Ancestor Lines Explorer, I'm going to get 10 generations. So Riel added a couple pretty cool features. The first is that he added statistics up at the top. So there was something similar to this in the Brick Walls app, which would tell you how many possible ancestors there are in the number of generations you chose, how many have WikiTree profiles, and then how many occur more than once, so how many duplicates. And then the other cool thing he did is he added options to choose, or so you could like choose to highlight certain things. So if you want to highlight people with no parents, you can choose that and it will highlight it. You can also highlight the people that have biocheck issues. So you can see that I have a few in this. And to see what the biocheck issues are, you either choose Alt, click, or you press Alt and click on the circle. Or if you have a Mac, it's Option, click. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, so those are the new features for Ancestry Lines Explorer. And then he also added some new things for the CC7 views. So he added the statistics to the CC7 views as well, the same that are on Ancestry Lines Explorer. And then he also added some new features for the missing family option. So you can choose like who you want to see when you choose the missing family option. So let's say I just want to see people with no parents or only one parent. So I can choose that, and you can see that it only shows the people that are missing a parent. So I can work on those people. And I think that's it.
That's great. That's a lot.
You know, we've been using this a lot for rock as well.
Mm-hmm.
To really get the numbers up for those who are being rocked this month. Mm-hmm. This has been our go-to app.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful.
And by rock, you mean RAWK, random acts of WikiTree kindness. Mm-hmm. In case people are wondering who are we throwing rocks at. I mean, it is
hopefully not at computer screens.
Not at computer screens, no. And we're not talking about Charlie Brown getting a rock in his hand, his goodie bag, but no. Yeah, that's good. Oh, neat. So are we ready? Are we going to go on to
David?
Excellent, yeah. David. Yeah. You're ready for your big time?
Ooh. Oh, sorry.
It's not my dog.
Worst timing.
Okay, take it away, David. Okay, he's muted himself, probably to get his dog under control. It's not Finnegan. It's not mine. He's just sleeping here. Sanjay's is in the back too.
Right. Oh, that's pretty. Let me just switch to.
Yeah.
Why do I not switch to tree?
Excellent.
Right. So, yeah, I've been making a few changes to credit where it's due. This was originally Jamie's app, so I've just sort of taken it a step further, sort of added a few bits to it. So the things I've added, similar to you were saying about the changes Wheels made. So I've now got a total profiles column, which I split out from the sort of profiles with birth year. And again, so that's showing the stats I'm showing at the moment is for the late Queen Elizabeth II. Just I assume she'd have plenty data. So we've got the total profiles. You can see all the way back up to her third great grandparents, all on WikiTree. Then by the fourth up, it's sort of there's a few missing. But actually, the quality of them, all the way to the third great grandparents, all of them have got birth years. 58 of those, 56 to 58 entered have got a birth year for the 7th generation, etc. Other things we've added, so I've added in a average marriage age, which is something that was being asked for on G2G posts. So you can see the age that which they got married. And interesting, I thought Greg would like this. There's lots of 25s.
Look at all those 25, all those 5 squares.
Yeah. And as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I really will make some changes to the generation length, because at the moment, all it's doing is just showing the difference between, say, let me highlight, between sort of this number and the one before it. So from 1926 to 1898 is 28 years, but it's not accurately showing because seems to be showing that what I'd like to show is the age at which the first child was born for that on average for that generation. So I can't imagine back in the 1700s they were not having a child till they were 34. So I think it might be a little bit out. Below, I've tweaked it a little bit. So we've now got the oldest ancestor that was already there. But then you've got, when it's showing all genders, the oldest male and the oldest female. So the late Queen's oldest ancestor. I'm thinking, I'll suggest this later, what was the term I thought of? Eldest living or something. No, longest life. That was it. Longest.
Right.
Might make it clearer that it's they lived to 91 years, which was longer than anybody else. So that's at the bottom, and then finally what we've got is a drop down for the genders. So you can now choose, as people are asking, for the oldest male, also for the stats just for the males. You can see the numbers have changed. Certainly, age, marriage age, we can see is a bit different, and that shows just Carl at the bottom. We're only looking at males now, and then the females, likewise. You can see once it loads up the stats. And as a slight treat to Greg, if you'd like, I've got Greg's profile loaded up. So I wonder if there's any stats here that sort of you didn't know.
Well, you can. The first thing I noticed is, and that one of the things I was wondering about is in the total profiles, was there a way to differentiate the maternal to the paternal? Because the maternal side for me is French Canadian and it goes way back, but my paternal stops in Ireland and Scotland, which isn't nearly as well developed. And you can see that easily from the 6th to the 7th generation there.
Yeah, the numbers drop off, don't they? Yeah. It doesn't actually show, but as far as you can tell, yeah. And then if we try,
but if you did that,
males only. It's not the male line; it's male profiles.
Oh, okay. I see.
If you want to compare your fathers and mothers lines, then you should start with them and make two
exactly.
tables.
Yeah.
You
windows with
the parents' profile in there, and then obviously you'll see the difference.
Right.
So that's your stats for the males.
Neat.
So your oldest male relative was I feel like you now messing up names.
François Barry.
Yeah, to 95 years old.
Now he is just the oldest up to the 10th generation.
Right.
He's not the oldest
of those displayed. Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Mine. Yeah.
If we go over to the female side, your oldest female is Marie-Angèle Levasseur, who lived up to 98, so nice old age.
Yeah.
You can also see sort of the average lifespans. It will then show you just the men in the family, just the women in the family. And the reason I said all genders before is because the gender sort of does have the option of being left blank. So that's why all male only, female only. So any blanks included in the alls, if there are any.
Are there many of those? I mean, I know there's the newborns. Newborns who aren't like who pass away right away aren't often recorded with genders sometimes.
Okay, it's interesting.
But I don't know. But would there be many ancestors or like without genders?
Yeah, obviously the current of.
Well, if the young is very young, they're not your ancestors.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, certainly not that young. Yeah. Okay, but I think that's probably all I've got to show here for now.
That's great.
Thank you.
Excellent. Isn't that exciting, Jamie? Someone took your idea and just ran.
I'm glad someone's finally improving it because it's been a while since I've done anything with it.
I understand. Yes, that's great. So if you haven't typed Hacktober yet, now is the time because we are switching. I don't think we have anything else about the apps. I can tell you that I have, as a quick update for all of those who were concerned about me and my yellow sticky notes from last week, I have upgraded from sticky notes to actually programming, and I've made some really good progress today. my ancestors part and the descendants part all work perfectly, but all of my cousins apparently are all single parents. So, so I have to get that. I have to fix that bug because, I mean, some might be, but most are not.
Well, do they know that? No.
They don't know that unless they're watching this video. And since I'm ninth cousins from a lot of you, yeah, sorry. Anyways, I'll fix that logic error, but that's not newsworthy, really. I'm just giving filler while people type in Hacktober, so that Sandy can give away the prize. So,
Let's see.
Joe Cat, Hacktober has a K in it the way we've spelled it, so you want to type that again before we do the draw. Hacktober, Hacktober. So,
We'll give
come
Joe
on,
Cat a
Joe.
second or two, but let's
Come
go
on,
ahead
Joe.
and let's go ahead and draw.
Okay. This is exciting.
I know this is an exciting part. Joku, there we go.
Oh, Yoka. Yeah, from the Netherlands.
Congratulations.
That's great. So
What shirt
Yoka,
do they get? Do they get a Hacktober shirt?
they get a T-shirt, and so Hacktoberfest would be the logical option for them to choose. But I think they get to choose. So Yoka, what you have to do is you have to email AON, and someone can type AON at. I will type it in, AON at wikitree.com into the chat, but that's not where I want to put there. Someone put it there. Yeah, email AON and she will line you up with your prize. So I think without further ado, let's now turn our attention over to the WikiTree browser extension and give it all the love that it deserves.
Yes. So I'm going to do just a quick intro on how to install it and choose features to test. This is mostly for people that want to test out the features.
Mhm.
So let me share my screen again. Okay. Is it sharing yet?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So the first thing you want to do is go to the WikiTree browser extension space page. So you can do that by going to help search if you or if someone wants to show the link on the screen. But yeah, you can type in like browser extension, go there. And because the space page is constantly being updated by Murray, we just link to it from the help page. So you get this really detailed, amazing help page for it. But you want to click on installation. And if you're testing the new features, so like the ones that are being done during Hacktoberfest, you want to install the preview version. So since I'm using Chrome, I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me to the Chrome Web Store. And so you just click on the button, Add to Chrome, and it will do a pop-up warning that will let you know that it will be able to read and change data on wikitree.com, and also can read and modify data that you copy and paste. But like, don't worry about this. It's mostly just so features, like we're not stealing any of your data. Like all the code is open so you can see it, and you know, the features are added by WikiTreeers, so you don't have to worry too much about it. So if just click Add Extension, and it will install it, and it will pop up the help page, and it will also pop up the settings page. So the settings, well, the first thing you probably want to do is up at the top of your browser, there usually is a little extensions thing, and you probably want to pin it to the top of your browser just so you have easy access to it. Because you probably, if you click on the icon, it will send you to the settings page, and you probably will want to update settings as you're testing or using it. So the settings page there's a whole lot of options to choose from. Anything that's green means it's turned on, and there's quite a few features that are turned on by default. So if you're testing, you may want to turn off all of them up at the top and then turn things on one by one, just to see what you want. So I'm going to show you an example of one of the features. So here's, without any features turned on, here is a profile of one of my great-grandparents, or great-great-great something grandparents. And so let's say I want the distance and relationship feature turned on. So I click this button, and then when I refresh the page, you can see that the feature popped up, and it says that she is my second great-grandmother. So yeah, so that's basically how you install the extension and how you turn on features that you want to test. And on the space page, if you find a bug, or if you want to give a recommendation for a new feature, you can click on this testing and feedback section, and it will tell you where to post, or you could post a comment on this page. So
I
yeah.
have a question. What's the timeline of publishing preview version? Because the official one is usually at the beginning of the month, right?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the month, the stable version is updated with all the features that have been added the previous month. Preview version, Ian, is very quick. So usually it's basically as soon as it's approved, it gets put into the preview version, and it just depends on how long it takes for the various stores to accept it. But usually it's like, it's that day or that hour. Yeah, Ian is
so a few times per month, probably.
Yeah, sometimes it's probably multiple times a day, even sometimes. So yeah, it's very quick. So if you want the most up-to-date WikiTree browser extension features, the preview version is the way to go. Otherwise,
but something might not work, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like if you want something that works well, I mean, the preview version usually works well, but there could be bugs because there's like new features all the time being added. And the stable version actually does have updates too, but not to features, but like bug fixes and stuff like that. So yeah, that is intro to the browser. Oh, and I wanted to mention that on WikiTree Day, which is November 5th,
yes,
Murray and Greg are going to do 2 different LiveCasts about the extension. So I'll let Greg talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, Eastern Standard Time, because we in North America, we go back an hour. The first workshop will be how to install and get Wiki browser extension set up. So basically everything that Jamie did, but maybe just a little bit slower, going to do actually step by step. And my plan is to actually show that with a few different browsers so that everyone can follow along. So for people who are nervous or have never done this before and aren't quite so sure, we're going to take it slowly. And that'll be the first one. And we'll talk about some of the basic settings in that when we get that working. And then the second one, starting at noon Eastern Standard Time, Murray will be taking us through more of a deep dive. We're not going to call it a deep dive because there's so many features. A deep dive would take multiple hours. So a good tour of the features, and so including some of the stuff that he's going to show today. But today he's going to show us specifically stuff that has been worked on during Hacktoberfest. So Murray, I'm going to bring you to the stage.
Well, one quick thing before Murray starts is Kay asked if we should disable the stable version when using the preview version. And yes, only have one of them running. Otherwise, things could get weird.
Yeah, you get 3 sets of buttons otherwise.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Kay. That's a good point there. So at the bottom of your screen, the tiny little previews there next to me, right over there is Murray. Say hi, Where's Murray? He's waving at us. So Murray has done this amazing free space page for the WikiTree browser extension. He also helped me out with the fan chart, and he's starting one on my Hacktoberfest app as well. And I'm very excited to welcome him officially to the WikiTree LiveCasts family. So take it away, Murray. And when you want me to change my screen, show my screen, just let me know.
Okay, so hi everybody. So today we want to just tell you about some of the features that have been added in October. And so those are the category filter, the category table, the editor expander, the editor font size, the CC7 changes. There was a table editor that was added just at the end of September or beginning of October, so it's in the stable version, but it hasn't got any coverage yet. And then there's some changes that Riel made in the change family lists. So if you're not familiar, this is how you, well, actually, Jamie just showed you, this is how you set things up. And you pick things that you want to work on your web browser extension and which ones you don't. And so we go through here and we find that there's a bunch of stuff going on. And let me just find, where's the editor? I still even though I work on all this documentation, I still have trouble finding things. So for example, here's the editor expander. And of course, there's lots of other features. The category filters and category table are here. And so now what I'll do is I'll show you some examples of how those work. And what we're going to start with is the category table. So here's a category. This is the category for the town of Percé in Quebec in the Gaspé Peninsula. And this is a small profile. It has 46 people in it. And what I'm going to show you is right now is that we've got a few buttons here that we can use to find out about people that are in this category. So we're going to start with the unconnected button. So here we can see that there are 4 people. So Emmanuel Jumeau is an example. We don't know who his parents are. And he was a Recollet brother and priest. So we don't believe that he was ever married or had any children. So he's completely disconnected. Similarly for Chrétien Leclerc, who was a priest. For Pierre Lebasque, we don't know who his relatives might be, and the same for Pierre Vallot. So that's fine. We can see who the unconnected people are in a category. We can also see the profiles who don't have a profile manager. So there's a few profiles there. We can see them. We can identify who is missing parents. And we can do something like, show me all the people who were born before 1700.
Oh, that's cool.
Show me all the people who were born in Percé. Okay, so those are there's a variety of search things that you can do. But basically, if the information is available on the screen as you see it, you can filter on it and reduce your list. So for example, I'm going to.
This is filtering only by the text displayed on the category page.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so here we have the Boissel family. And now I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to show you the table. These are 2 separate features. And I mention that because once the table's up, now if I go back up here to this text filter and type in Boissel, not having any effect at all on the table. What it is having an effect on is the list. So if I want to have an effect on the table, I'm going to go to the last name at birth. And there I have the Boissel family. Now I can show the family. And let me show you, there's more information here. Oops. Maybe there's not more information there. My mistake. More information.
Here.
Oh yeah, it's showing the created and edited date. Okay. And then we can also see the status of the profile that this one's open.
Okay.
Okay. I think I've covered. And sorry, I didn't. There's one thing I didn't show. So let me get rid of Boissel. Oops, get it in the wrong place. There. Okay, now this button over here, only unconnected, that applies to the table, not the list. So if I go to press only unconnected, then we get to see those same 4 people that we did in the list. And actually, let's do it in the list too, because this is actually a bug that got fixed last night. Okay, last night, the list showed 4 people, but the table only showed 2. And can you guess why?
Unconnected.
Because Labasque and Leclerc have a space in their name.
Oh no.
Yeah, so there's this weird stuff that Ian has to do to sometimes to to figure out who's who and what's what. Anyway, so there's your category filter and category table.
Wow.
So next, I'm going to go to the edit, and I'm missing something here. Huh. I had the editor. Oh, I know what's happening.
Okay.
The editor expander apparently is not working in the space pages.
Oh, right.
Okay. Apparently, it only works in the profiles. So I'm sure Ian's watching this, and he'll hear about that and fix it tomorrow. So the editor expander, you just click on that, and boom, you've got a pop-up window that gives you more space to work in. And then, if you don't like your font size, and you can just increase it or decrease it as you see fit. So I think that's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
And then you just hit your escape button, and you're out of there and back to where you were. So then, while we're in here, if we go into the biography tab and say Wiki Table Wizard, so now it'll let me create a table. Now I could have, you see up here it says paste table or list. So if I had grabbed a table from somewhere, copied an Excel spreadsheet table, or copied a table from some web page somewhere, I could just paste it in here, and away we go. We can add rows and add columns. So I can, this is my,
there we go.
should have done this as a list, eh?
Okay.
You should be able to leave an empty cell in.
Oh yeah. That's a good question.
Okay. And so there it has generated the code for a table.
Oh, okay.
So it's copied it now. And now I can escape from there and paste it in.
Okay.
Now I'm going to preview that table. And there it is. Now, if you haven't guessed yet, this table is from a Christmas card that I received one year. Actually,
oh, is it?
yeah. So when you opened up the card, it said no L.
No L.
It's a 5 by 5 matrix. So you look at the alphabet in the 5 by matrix, and you think, well, there must be a letter missing.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's the table editor. And so now once I'm here, I can go back into that table and go to the wizard, and it picks up the table.
So you just had to have your cursor somewhere in the middle of the table, and it figured it out?
Exactly.
Because I could have more than one table in the
Yeah.
profile. So just put the cursor in the table I want to edit.
Exactly.
Does it have problems if you have links to other profiles in the fields and so on?
Let's find
You
out.
test it?
Ian, are you watching? Are you there in the chat?
Should I put in a link or a URL? Let's do both.
The
Let's
link
try one of
one
each. Yeah,
should
why
be
not?
problematic, I think.
Put the link right here.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Showed up there.
Mm.
And escape from this. Now I have to paste it.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay, so let's see what
Okay.
happens.
Looks good.
Mm.
I did it. Doesn't seem to have any
Now
problem.
go back to edit.
Yep. And
If we
oh, you want me to go back into the editor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
it's
it
still
works.
there.
Okay. That's usually the problematic part because
Oh,
the
you're going
pipes are
backwards.
all over the place and
Mm-hmm.
Now you can establish that the first row is going to be a headers, which means it's going to make it bold.
Mm-hmm.
You can set it to be full width. You can adjust the border widths and cell paddings.
Nice.
You can also say that the table will be sortable
Oh, I love that.
and that it will be a wiki table.
Okay, what does that mean?
Well, wiki tables are treated specially by one of Ian's other features, which let me try to remember. So that's the one that makes things sortable, just by recognition of the fact that it's a wiki table.
Okay.
There's a G2G post about this that Kay did, if I remember,
Mm-hmm.
and it talks about the class equals sortable and class equals wiki table, and beyond that, I don't remember all the details. Oh, and you can add a caption.
Nice.
Murray, will this work if I've had an existing table? Say I added a table to a page 2 years ago?
yep, it should.
I don't see any reason why not. The only thing that well, so when Ian undertook this, I was a little bit worried about it because I've worked I've worked for editor companies in the past, and tables can be a real problem, and you can get a lot of feature creep into tables. So Ian took the simple approach, which I really appreciate. This is not a fancy table editor. It doesn't try to do spans. It doesn't try to do sophisticated things. This is your basic table editor, and because it's a basic table editor, it's easy to describe and it's easy to work with. I think that if it gets much more complex than this, it's going to be it'll make it hard to work with. But yes, if you have an existing table, it should be able to edit it. And as I said, if you've got stuff in a spreadsheet, you can just go to your spreadsheet, copy rows and columns, and bring it over here and press paste to table or list, and it'll pop it into place. The trick with the pasting the list is that you want to make sure that you've got all your rows and columns. You got the right number of rows and columns.
Right. They have to be equal. Yeah.
Yeah, and then once you paste in, then it'll just pop the values in. And the list is basically a comma separated values.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the table editor, and now I'm going to delete that draft and return to the profile without saving, because I want to show you this feature that
You are not showing the screen.
You're hiding your.
what am I doing?
I
think you stopped sharing.
Okay, I don't know how I did that, but
my guess is you clicked stop share.
It was probably hiding where the X was in the window.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. So here's a feature. Here's an enhancement to the change family lists. So let me just review that. go back over here. If you go to profile, there's this change family list.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got quite a number of options with change family list. So one of them is moving it to the right-hand column, which I've done in this case, putting a heading on it, making it a vertical list as opposed to a horizontal list like we normally have on the main side, reordering some stuff, etc. What he's added is adding the age differences with the siblings and children, and adding the ages of the parents. So let's go back and just see that. So over here, we can see that Françoise Boissel was born in about 1682, and her father was about 41 when she was born. Her mother was about 36. Françoise herself was the fourth born, and we can see that her eldest brother was about 12 years older than her. She also had a younger brother who was about 6 years younger than her. Her husband, Pierre, was about 11 years older than her. And her child, Marianne, was born when she was about 26. And
Cool.
if I hover over one of these, it tells me Claude Boissel was born about 12 years before Françoise. If I hover over her father, Noël Boissel was about 41 when Françoise was born. So this is a nice little feature.
That is neat.
All right, so we've done the categories, we've done the editor, we've done the table editor, we've done the family list. So what's left is CC7 changes. So we're going to switch over to Greg in a moment. But basically, in the Find menu, you now have this button CC7 changes. And I'm just going to...
Ready for me to click on it?
Just a moment.
Okay.
So the first time you press CC7 changes, the app is going to go and get some information. It's not going to tell you anything because it doesn't know anything yet. What it's going to do is it's going to get your current list of CC7. The next time you press it, it's going to compare your current list with the list that you previously saved, and it's going to give you some information. So here we can see that at one point I did that, and it told me that I had added Sarah Wishart, and I had subsequently added a few other people, and it shows me those. Now, Jamie and Greg both mentioned earlier that sometimes there are bugs, and right now Ian is actually struggling with an issue with the CC7, and it's partly my fault. Because the first time I ran CC7, I wasn't logged into the app server. And because I wasn't logged into the app server, it wasn't able to collect the information about a whole bunch of profiles that are connected to me that are private non-members. And so when it subsequently checked the lists to compare against, it thought that those, and I was logged in, it thought those people had been added recently, when in fact they haven't. And the result is that I end up with a list that has living people on it that I don't want to show. But Greg has kindly offered to do that. And so I am going to hide my screen now.
Okay.
And let Greg take over and show you what happens when he presses the CC7 changes.
So I've got this here to block the pop-up so I don't show some living people by mistake, and then I will strategically reveal the pop-up. But here we go. That's my low-tech solution for this high-tech problem. So I'm going to click on the CC7 changes, and there's the waving tree, and there it goes. Now let's see. It's popping up, and it's going to say added within the last month. Oh, wait a second. Where's the ones that I just added today? I added 2 today, and they should have showed up.
No, but you press. So what happens is the first time you press the button after you've made a change, it'll show that you just added those recently. The next time you do it, it moves it into another list, which is added within the last month.
But there's 2 there that I just added. Well, I added an hour and a half ago, so they should show up, right? Ah. Let me try it again. See.
Anyway, but don't worry about that. That's a small detail.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, these are the list of people that have been here for a while. Yeah. So just like you had said, the first time it's not recognized in the 2 new ones I added.
Right. So Ian has made a change in the last couple of days. So now it won't let you run CC7 unless you're logged into the app server.
So you think that might be the issue?
But those of us who ran it once before that was in place may have some stuff in our. Okay. So anyway, he's going to get that sorted out.
Yeah.
So
sorry about that.
So this is in the preview version, and yeah, back to that question about the preview version and the stable version. So the stable version came out at the beginning of the month. There will be a new stable version at the beginning of November. We are currently at version 13 of the preview versions. So there have been 13 releases through the month.
13. Well, that's a perfect number for October, isn't it? But you can't stop now. I mean, Hacktober is not done yet, so there's probably still going to be a few more, right?
I think there'll be some bug fixes.
There might be some bug fixes, yeah. I didn't think to log into the app server when I opened up Safari this morning. Yeah, so sorry about that. I was all ready to show off that. Oh, well. But you did show your screen where it showed those 2 pages, those 2 entries, so people can just
hopefully everybody understands how it works. And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, sounds good. Excellent.
Sorry about the glare, by the way.
No, that's no problem at all. That's great. Okay. Sandy, have you found anything this week in your travels through WikiTree land? And
we have, and it's actually something that Murray just showed, and it's regarding the categories.
Okay.
Do we have so can somebody show their screen, or I can show one? Let me bring mine up real quick. I have Arlington National Cemetery category up, pretty large. So the questions that we kind of have, let me just refresh. Oops, that's weird. Okay.
I'm not touching it. It's not me.
I'm not either. I'm like, what's going on? Okay. So the questions that kind of that I have and some of us have here regarding these, the unconnected, the orphan, and the missing parent. So the first thing that I think that is really kind of important to note, if I click this unconnected button, it's only showing me the first page, not all of.
Right.
And I noticed that a lot of people assume that when they click that unconnected, it's showing the 2,606 plus profiles, but it's not. So you would do page by page to find it. It's probably too taxing for the database. I'm guessing.
Yeah, we definitely, that's sort of why like the My Connections thing also only does that one page. It's just because of server resources. So
and then the other question, can these stack? Can I find on this page an unconnected orphan that has a missing parent?
I assume so. I haven't tried that.
Ooh. Why don't we try?
Oh no! It looks like when you hit one, the other one drops.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's acting like a radio button, not a checkbox.
Yeah. And then the other question is, how do I clear this?
Clear
Did
which?
you click it again?
If I click on unconnected, but I want to go back to the full list, how do I clear this?
Click unconnected again, so it's not green.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So that was a big revelation for a lot of users that were using this. They thought the biggest one is that it would be throughout the entire category of 2606.
No, you have to use WikiTree Plus for that.
And that we talked about that as
Mhm.
well. So that was really the big revelation, and that was really fun to work with as we started playing with all these new tools. Now, the thing that Murray mentioned that was really interesting was the filter. And literally, while this live cast was going on, somebody did ask in my project, how do I filter a category, one name study category, to just show certain people in one county? And literally, you were bringing up that filter.
Demonstrating that.
So great timing. So
Yeah.
I
Nice.
think that was really good if you're trying to filter for certain last names or certain, sometimes first names, but counties and locations for one place studies, one name studies, things like that.
Mhm.
So good stuff. I love WBE.
That's right.
I'm your biggest fan of WBE.
Yeah.
I think
And
I'm
we-
the biggest fan.
You're the biggest fan.
We'll fight for it.
Well, someone else is your fan as well, Murray.
Oh,
You've got
thanks,
some
Bill.
kudos here for your presentation. Good work. And Joe says, thanks for all your hard work. And as you were demonstrating that, Sandy, and then Alesh said, well, you have to go to WikiTree. So Alesh, a neat feature that you could add to the page that Sandy did, if she does that click, wouldn't it be neat if somewhere, maybe at the bottom of the page or at the top, the WikiTree plus search could show up so that you could generate that, so someone could then click on that link and then take you to WikiTree plus to give you the full.
That should be easy to do.
Just like we have on the categories or for the cemeteries for just that one report added, that would be fantastic. Great idea.
Because that, yeah, that would be really handy. So,
Can I
so
ask?
many fans. Oh, Flo. Now he's just so many fans. One needs a fan chart. One can always use a fan chart. Oh, that's great. Super. Alesh, do you have anything to report?
No.
What you're working on or nothing? No. Okay.
I think this week I was busy.
You've been, yeah. Well.
Well, actually, I did import from OpenStreetMap all the cemeteries that are entered there. So there are 600,000 cemeteries, and they are included in WikiTree plus maps now. I just finished that today, but
Nice.
that was more like data processing. So they have there are more cemeteries than on Find a Grave or any other site. So this is obviously the biggest source.
Wow.
But there are no a lot of them are without names, and so they are not of much use. But
Right.
if you are looking for a location, it can help.
Cool. I did have a question, and let me just about the WikiTree maps, WikiTree Plus Maps app. The setting is setting something that we would find useful, because if so, translating it would be helpful. And the other thing is, you probably
I think okay, I can I will translate that.
I mean, if it's a setting that only you can change, then we should probably hide it. But
no, these are some defaults what happens when you click.
Yeah. So I want the
on.
Prakashi. I have no idea.
You would like to Prakashi. That means show or hide.
Okay.
That means show a panel. Show the panel. I think left panel is when you start the application or not.
Where's the apply button?
Probably lower
it's right at the
down.
very. I have to shrink my screen to get to it. Okay. Well, I want to show everything, so I'm gonna go Prakashi everything. Prakashi. There we go.
Prakashi.
Forgot. I'm not sure what I'm showing now, but that wasn't there.
No, yeah, okay. Most of these options are not for general use. They do some specific. They decide. It depends if the panel, left and right panel, are shown.
Okay.
But it has more effect on the phones and tablets than on desktop.
Okay, I see. And the password? what is
Yeah,
that? Our
you don't know the old one, so
yeah. So you might want to then if that's of no use to us, you can hide that. I would hate for someone to change your password on you.
I don't think you can, but because it's a built-in one.
Okay.
Oh,
was wondering
okay,
if it was
I
changing your
will
WikiTree
check if we
password.
can hide those. Usually, the system is based on existing users, so each one should have its own username and password. But since we are not managing the users here, it's just a generic one.
Okay. Well, that's a really. I'm glad you added that, and I look forward to not trying to just guess what the options say.
Well, there on the maps you can now on the maps you can probably see the OpenStreetMap cemeteries also.
Oh, neat. Right in here too. Okay.
Yeah, in layers if you go.
I go to layers. Yeah.
And cemeteries.
There we go.
And it should be OpenStreetMap,
OpenStreetMap,
from
there
the
we go.
bottom. And now, if you go somewhere close, you will see the cemetery.
Oh, it's thinking. Look at all those. Yeah.
Oh, just zoom in.
Zoom in. It's taken a while.
Oh, I have. Okay, there are some bugs. It didn't draw everything for now.
Oh wow. Okay. It'll even We'll just hide that for now.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Anyone else? Jamie, any last words?
No.
No.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, I don't have anything else on our plan for today.
I think we went through everything. We gave away the T-shirt, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to mention what sort of app stuff you're going to do during WikiTree Day, and also
Yes.
the Hacktoberfest.
Right.
graphic.
So that's what I was thinking I would end it with. So first of all, I would like to thank David and Murray for joining us today. It was great seeing some new faces on the LiveCast and the work you guys have been doing. So that's super. Welcome to the club. And so yes, this is the last official Hacktoberfest LiveCast update for the month of Hacktober, because this time next week we'll be into November, and in fact a week today will be the beginning of the WikiTree Symposium. So if you haven't already registered for that, you should do so. It's totally free, doesn't cost you a dime, and you'll get access to lots of quality genealogy, DNA, WikiTree related workshops starting Thursday night, all day Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday is WikiTree Day itself, celebrating our 15 years of WikiTree. And during that day, again, there'll be giveaways, just like in the symposium, which you have to register, and then you get entered into those draws. On the Sunday, there are basically 3 main tracks going. So there's a sort of a main stage doing a number of different presentations. There is a projects set of workshops which Sandy is running, and so she is going nonstop. I thought I had a busy day that day, but nothing compared to Sandy, because she goes from dusk till dawn, or dawn till dusk. Yeah, no, past dusk, because she's going to midnight almost.
That's true.
You
Great projects. So the projects have really stepped up. I'm really, really proud of them. It's going to be interesting presentations. It's not just, hey, this is who we are. They're really good topics. So make sure to check them out.
Yeah. And the other thing is we have a whole set of tech-related workshops that we're doing that day as well. So I'm doing a workshop on various apps, and I think I'm going to focus on the new one, assuming that I can get the cousins out of, I can get them married off and have full families and stuff. And also I'm also going to show off the DNA confirmation app, because now it's not new this month, but it is a very useful one. And there are a number of DNA projects that are coming online, so I think it's a very helpful one. So I'm going to give a refresher on that. Then we has, as I mentioned earlier, Murray and I are doing 2 WikiTree browser extension specific workshops. There's going to be a workshop on the WikiTree B that Flo is going to do, and Flo's in our chat today. And also the WikiTree Sorcerer, Rob Pavey, is going to do one as well for that. And then we're going to close off Hacktoberfest, and we're going to celebrate at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2300 hours UTC on WikiTree Day. And that will be our official Hacktoberfest grand finale, wrap up, and Appapalooza. So we're going to be talking about what's happened during Hacktoberfest. We'll have a quick demo of the different apps and things that got added during that time, and showing off lots of fun stuff. So come join us next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after, for WikiTree Day, and have lots of fun.
And
so,
could one of you talk about the Discord party?
Oh, I forgot the Discord party. What's that all about? Sandy, do you know what the Discord party?
That's Wednesday, and there's a post on G2G that's to get everybody started and ready for the WikiTree Day weekend that's coming up. So it's a very long. I can't remember the exact times, but it's mostly, if you're in the States Eastern Time, it's almost the entire afternoon, I think, going into the evening, and show up, and lots of fun things going to happen there. But you got to show up to know what they are.
Yeah, it's on the G2G post. It says it's from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. So it's 7 to 1 a.m. UTC.
And it's a great way if you want to meet new people, you want to ask a project a question, you want to find out, hey, how do I do this on this profile? If you just want to say hi, if you just want to bring snacks, whatever it is, you got to show up.
That sounds like fun. You know what? I briefly remember that going by, but thanks, Murray, for.
Oh, it was a lot of fun last year. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay then. Well, we'll see you at the Discord party then. So thanks everyone again. Thanks Jamie and Alesh for being Sandy, for being my regulars, and thanks to David and Murray today, and for all the others who have helped out over the past 4 weeks. So see you later.
Bye.
Hacktoberfesting.
Bye.